To answer Jay's question about, the Bengals offense is, no, they're not bad. The Bengals offense has been inconsistent, way too inconsistent for the talent they have on offense. Their defense is disgusting, and their coach is terrible.
Wow, they're a mess.
But their offense is fine. It's just been inconsistent. So
what did they score yesterday? It was
17. Well, it was 17-17 early in the third quarter.
Oh, it was.
Yeah,
I didn't follow it, so I don't know.
Yeah,
and they were without Higgins yesterday too, which I think makes a huge difference.
And they have not played well without Higgins. But by the way, it was the first game of the season I didn't watch. I actually didn't watch the game at all.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, because a lot of times, if the Browns and Bengals have mostly played at different times this year, when they play at the same time, I'll usually go back and watch the Bengals game after.
Okay.
When I didn't want to go back and watch it.
Right.
But so no, I'm not going to take away the credit for the Browns defense. I thought the Browns defense played very well last week. I thought they played very well this week. The difference was that the rest of the team played well this week, whereas the rest of the team did not play well the week before.
Do you guys agree with my premise that there was just an energy on every single man on the field that we haven't seen all year?
Yeah.
Guys were going the extra mile. They were making the extra effort. I saw a lot of effort. And your point to Myles Garrett, was he there?
Right.
I saw him before the game with a mask on. I didn't see him much during the game, which is stunning. Because if you would have told me he was going to be a non-factor, I would have thought, well, that's an L every time.
Well, think about this. The last drive of the game, the Browns scored the touchdown. There's still a minute left. It's Lamar Jackson. Right?
I was afraid it was too much.
Yeah, sure. On that last drive, they did not have Denzel Ward. They did not have JOK.
Yeah.
And Myles Garrett was a non-factor. Mm-hmm. Those are by far their three best players on defense. And yet they still stopped them.
This is crazy. I think Jameis Winston, more than what he did on the field, he did off the field. Because you got to think about it. He also started, he galvanized people in the locker room when he came out and said what he said about Deshaun Watson. Now, watch what he did in all in 1 week. He said what he said about Deshaun Watson, and all hell broke loose. The fans went crazy. Mm-hmm. For about 3 or 4 days, it was Browns media, Browns fans, and Browns players all going at it, right? He then comes back in the locker room, and that brought everybody else together saying, look, we got to stick up for each other. Everybody in here is all for one for all. And it got people to have that, it's us versus everybody. Then the astute politician that he is, he said, let me go back out and mend these fences with these fans. He comes back and says, listen, this is the greatest fan base in the world. We got to play for these fans. We want you to come do your part. They come to the game. Fans are tremendous. Nothing happened. Then what he does is goes out, plays the game, wins against a rival. Then he gets back in front of the podium and says, you know what? This game was for the fans. This game was for the people that we got to show up every single day and put that energy so that they can cheer us on and make them proud. I said in one doggone week, people was mad at him. Mm-hmm. The team came together. They got the win, and the fan base is sitting here today with over 3,000 people in the chat talking about great job. Let's see what he can do next week. I think that's the astute politician that he is, and if he continues to keep winning football games, all that'll do is give people more and more buy-in.
And nothing else matters when you're winning football games.
Especially if it's
fans really don't care about off the field, anything else. When you're winning football games, that's all we care about.
And that's why I think in the past, the fan base has always been divided. It's they're always sniping. It's this guy, not that guy. No, it's that guy, not this guy. That stuff bubbles up when you're losing.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
I don't remember after the Flacco run, in the middle of the Flacco run, seemed like it was kumbaya. We were winning. Fans weren't screaming for Flacco. Everybody embraced him. Everything was great. Winning hides all the warts.
That's right.
And when you lose, they're popping up and spreading all over your body. Suddenly everything is bad. The fans are arguing with the players. The players are arguing with the media. The media's... It's a nightmare. But now I do think, to your point, and it's a good point, in the last week, this team has gone through the cycle, man. Just think about the events that have taken place in the last 8 days around this football team.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Jason, do you think this defensive unit, though, is kind of rounding into shape of what we thought they could be before this season? It was a disappointing start, but these last 2 weeks have been promising.
Yeah, there was a stretch yesterday. It wasn't long, but there was a stretch yesterday where you were without both of your corners. Both Emerson and Denzel were getting checked for concussions. And you had Cam Mitchell and Greg Newsome on the field, and that's when Mark Andrews caught touchdown pass in the end zone was when Greg was on him. And thankfully, Emerson was able to come back. Obviously, we'll get to the Denzel situation. But they fought through adversity. There's no question this defense fought through adversity to lose, not only lose JOK, but to lose him in the fashion that they did.
Do we know what's going to happen with him?
I was told they think it's just like a concussion type thing, and everything else was precautionary.
Okay.
I was freaked out.
So that might be a week or two, and he might be back.
Yeah. Like I don't think it's anything devastating.
That's the hope.
I mean, but
But when you see your guy get wheeled out, strapped to a board, his face mask removed, strapped to a board, and wheeled off the field.
Did you read his lips? When I read it, I read his lip and it said, "I can't move." And I freaked out. Like I said, oh goodness, because like he was kind of laying there and his legs was limp, and I was just like.
Well, then he gave the thumbs up.
Then he gave the thumbs up, and then they said he had feeling in all his limbs. So I was excited about that.
To your earlier point about it felt like both sides tried to make amends for last week, as Jameis came out and somebody said afterwards about that was, I hope we gave you all what you wanted. When JOK was down, the fans immediately rose and were chanting his name, and it felt like it was sort of course they love JOK, of course you want him to be okay. But it was also a makeup.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, they heard the criticism.
Hey, you know, there's certain generals that's in the audience, right? There's certain guys that been season ticket holders for 80 years.
Yeah, get on your feet, let's go.
Get your ass up.
The world is watching.
Don't you play this week?
Yeah.
But that's from a football standpoint, it's frustrating because you feel like the defense is really coming into its own, and now assume at least a week, there's going to be no Denzel and no JOK.
Yeah.
So,
by the way, the Denzel thing is terrifying, guys.